This video is part of the Infocare tutorial videos, which are designed to provide step-by-step instructions on how to perform cognitive, sensorial, physical and reminiscence activities remotely and through digital devices, as a caregiver of a person suffering from dementia. This video is specifically designed to explain how to perform the hobbies with the person you care for, by using Amazon Echo Show device. Through the Amazon Echo Show, you can use the drop-in function to communicate with the person you are caring for and talk about the hobbies you are doing with them. For detailed instructions on how to use it, check the Infocare's Digital Literacy for Caregivers of Dementia Patients manual, as well as the drop-in video tutorial. With drop-in, the person with dementia does not need to pick up the call to get connected, easing the process. However, other softwares and devices for video calls can be used. Plan the activity in advance. Watch and learn from the next steps detailed in this video before starting the activity, rather than watching and doing the activity at the same time. This can smoothen the interaction and make it more efficient. Try to maintain a constant schedule and routine. Choose the most suitable time and frequency, depending on the person's needs, daily schedule and routines, etc. Inform the person about the activity and timing before it takes place. If the person is being aided by an external carer or professional, carry out the activity while this person is present. Talk and communicate with the other person as usual. Use short and straightforward sentences, positive and simple language. Make pauses and adapt the pace if needed. Establish some simple rules and structure the dialogue, as example. Start with, "Hello Dad, it is me, John. How are you today?" Finish with, "I will call or visit you tomorrow." Avoid those questions that might generate frustration, such as, "Do you remember me? Do you know who I am?" Be flexible and patient. If the activity is not going on well or the person is not interested, switch the topic and relax the environment. A regular hobby can help with depression, which is common in people with dementia, particularly in regulating the overconsumption of food that accompanies some forms of dementia. Practicing hobbies is beneficial to encourage people with dementia to engage in mutual dialogue, commit to an activity and sustain attention. Selecting hobbies that people with dementia have loved and enjoyed doing in the past can be particularly helpful. There are some small tasks or steps we can engage in, such as cooking a favorite dish together to boost cognitive skills. It is thought that knitting hobbies are done with the use of both sides of the brain, as in music activities, and are therefore useful in reducing dementia symptoms. Making associations with dementia patients about their hobbies can bring them to reflect on the past and provide many different benefits by leading them to do these activities. Some of these benefits are: to make him/her realize visually and practically that he/she can do something. Maintaining the ability of the elderly to work together with group members. To enable them to come up with something in common within group sharing. To feel at home. To ensure that he enjoys his life from his environment. To enable him/her to establish a connection between his/her past and present. To keep him busy, to make his day more productive. To strengthen their connection with daily life. To make him feel useful. To ensure and support active participation in social life. In order to perform the activity, make sure the following prerequisites are met. You can give clues to the patient about the planned activity. The person should be able to listen and see the screen. The person should be relaxed and motivated to engage with the activity. You can make more favorable video selections by watching the videos that should be opened about the patient's hobbies alone in advance. You can briefly explain the activities you are doing or will do with the digital device to the patient and attract his/her interest. If the person with dementia has vision and/or hearing problems, make sure they have their glasses or hearing aids in hand. The materials you will need for these activities may vary according to the hobbies of the person with dementia. For example, for a patient who likes to cook or eat, you can play a video of their favorite dish. In this way, you can change his/her focus and try to make this dish together. For this, you may need to obtain the necessary materials for cooking. For a patient who has a hobby of knitting, you can play videos showing various knitting techniques. Since they are still in the early dementia period, you can try to knit together as much as their motor and cognitive abilities. These and other activities linked to the patient's hobbies can provide many options. These activities can also contribute to improving the relationship between you and the patient. For example, if you have a relative who loves to eat or make pasta, you can evaluate the options by commanding the device. Alexa, open a video on how to make pasta from YouTube. By providing the ingredients in a video that interests you, you can follow the instructions one by one. Thus, you will have done an activity and you can easily continue this activity with the video you watch. Since watching movies is one of the common hobbies, you can watch many movies with your relative with dementia through Amazon Echo Show. Amazon offers you many options in this context. With the voice commands you give, you can discover films, documentaries, and short videos on different themes. For example, when you command Alexa, find comedies, Alexa will list the comedy content you can watch. You can choose one of them and watch it with your relative with dementia. You can have short conversations about the hobbies you do together. Using the drop-in function of the Amazon Echo Show can be very useful in this regard. Based on the examples given earlier, you can ask an easy detail about the meal made or a question about the film watched. Thus, you can have a conversation in which you can test the cognitive capacity of your relative with dementia. Making the patient with dementia feel that they are answering the questions correctly will increase their self-confidence and may cause them to have a high mood in their daily life. Here are a few tips for you. You should never make your carer feel like a failure in the activities you do together. People who have difficulty using forks and spoons and therefore do not want to eat can be helped by preparing hand-consumed foods. Many objects at home can be organized according to the patient. For example, aprons to protect clothes, bowls instead of plates that are easier to use. Amazon Echo Show device and Alexa's virtual assistant have been used within the Infocare project framework for informative and training purposes. There are other available devices that offer similar functionalities for dementia caregiving. Some examples are Google Nest Hub and Google Assistant, whose wake word is, "Hey, Google." Microsoft Personal Assistant, known as Cortana. Apple's virtual assistant for iOS, whose name is Siri. Moreover, in some countries there are also local virtual assistance providers. You can check your country's availability and choose the most suitable option depending on the availability and preferences.